Some creators lost a few subscribers over a bad take. These 15 lost everything, and some of them lost their freedom too. Starting with the fall that shook the entire family vlogging space to its core. Franke built a career on being a relatable mom, and the reality behind the camera was the opposite of everything she posted. She started 8 Passengers in 2015 as a Mormon mother of 6, sharing parenting advice. The channel grew beyond 2.5 million subscribers, turning her family life into a major brand. Behind the wholesome image, her discipline methods became extreme. Food was withheld, punishments escalated, and disturbing claims about her children's treatment surfaced.
Her down on the flipping couch. Okay, move it. If I hear one more word, get out. I'm still recording. I'm fake being happy.
The truth emerged in 2023 after her son escaped. She was arrested, pleaded guilty to abuse charges, and her channels were terminated.
Thank you. Go ahead and face this officer. Go ahead and place your hands on top of your head. You notice your finger, please. Thank you. Just put your hands on top of your head. You're good. Look to your left.
Franke's image was the wholesome mom next door. The reality behind that image was the worst kind of betrayal a parenting channel could produce. Moving on to the scandal that became one of YouTube's first real lessons in consequences. Logan Paul uploaded a video that nobody could unsee, and the backlash defined an era of platform accountability. He built a massive audience through high-energy vlogs before posting footage from Japan's Aokigahara forest showing a dead body. The video sparked global outrage, leading to calls for a ban and advertisers distancing themselves from him.
Oh, what the? Come on, look at me. Oh my God, he's hanging. Bro, did we just find a dead person in the suicide forest hanging? Yes, sir.
He removed the video, apologized multiple times, and faced temporary demonetization before shifting toward less controversial content.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. So what we came across that day in the woods was obviously unplanned.
Logan Paul remained active afterward, but the incident became one of the clearest examples of how quickly public trust can collapse when creators cross a line.
Let's go, Jake. My type, you don't even know. You messing with the Pauls, bro. Let's go, Jake. First round knockout.
If you're enjoying these stories so far, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Moving forward to the creator whose old content became the reason his entire career collapsed years later. Shane Dawson was one of YouTube's earliest stars, and resurfaced footage from his own past ended his run at the top. He built his name through sketches, conspiracy videos, and documentary-style content that helped define YouTube's early years.
Family tree with siblings synchronicity. Sister. What did you just say? Snooky? Yeah. So what do you want to do? Can't believe I'm here looking, I'm singing in front of Simon.
Between 2019 and 2020, old videos resurfaced showing blackface, racist jokes, and other disturbing material. Allegations involving inappropriate behavior toward minors followed soon after. The backlash was immediate. He lost millions of subscribers, faced demonetization, and stepped away from content creation. Shane Dawson became an example of how old content can resurface and destroy a creator's reputation. Next up is the beauty community scandal that broke a subscriber record for all the wrong reasons. James Charles went from beauty prodigy to the center of YouTube's biggest public feud almost overnight. He rose quickly, becoming the first male CoverGirl ambassador as a teenager and reaching over 25 million subscribers. In 2019, Tati Westbrook's Bye Sister video accused him of betrayal, manipulation, and inappropriate behavior. The backlash was immediate. He lost millions of subscribers while brands and creators stepped away. He remained active, but his reputation and influence never fully recovered. Stick around if you want the rest of these, because subscribing means you won't miss the ones still coming. Shifting to a creator whose cheerful character hid allegations that took years to fully surface. Colleen Ballinger built a loyal fan base through her Miranda Sings character, and the allegations that followed were nothing like the persona. She built a comedic brand around a deliberately cringeworthy character. In 2023, allegations surfaced involving inappropriate messaging with underage fans and exploitative relationships, with accounts spreading widely online.
Eat a burger. Why do you make every song sad? Her sound is so trash, her voice is very bad. Very, very bad. Very, very.
Her response, a ukulele song addressing the accusations, was heavily criticized. The backlash damaged her reputation, ended many collaborations, and continued beyond the initial controversy. She has defended herself since, but the career impact remains significant. Colleen Ballinger's apology became more controversial than the original allegations, which says everything about how it landed. Continuing with the streaming scandal that came years after the actions it was based on, Dr. Disrespect built one of streaming's biggest personas, and a years-old revelation eventually caught up with him. He became one of the most recognizable streamers on Twitch and YouTube through his over-the-top character and high-energy content. In 2020, Twitch permanently banned him, with the reason revealed years later involving inappropriate messages to a minor. The backlash was significant. Partnerships ended, monetization was affected, and his reputation changed. He continues streaming but with reduced mainstream appeal. Dr. Disrespect's ban made sense the moment the real reason finally came out, years after everyone had already moved on. Moving on to the beauty mogul whose past comments resurfaced at the worst possible moment. Jeffree Star had built enormous wealth and influence, and old comments nearly undid all of it. As one of the most powerful figures in beauty, he had major influence over trends and sales. Resurfaced racist and anti-Semitic comments from his past sparked intense backlash, worsened by his involvement in the James Charles controversy. Boycotts followed and trust in the beauty community declined. He remains active today, but criticism has continued to follow his name. Jeffree Star's past comments prove that resurfaced content does not need new context to do damage all over again. This list still has some of the wildest falls coming up, so subscribe now if you don't want to miss them. Next is the creator who turned a real person's death into a hoax for views. ImJStation faked a fellow creator's death, and the backlash was as universal as it gets. Known for creepy, horror-style content built around shock value, he staged a fake death of fellow YouTuber Alexia Morano, using a fake seance to convince viewers it was real.
Let's do this. Let's say goodbye. Oh my God.
The backlash was immediate, with many criticizing the use of grief as entertainment. He later admitted it was a hoax. His reputation suffered, and he has largely faded from the spotlight since. ImJStation's hoax proved there is a line even shock content cannot cross without consequence. Shifting to the group channel scandal that broke a wholesome image overnight, Ned Fulmer was known as the loyal wife guy of the Try Guys, and the affair that surfaced shattered that entirely. He built his identity around being the stable, devoted husband, a persona fans had genuinely connected with. In 2022, news broke that he had been involved in an extramarital affair, contradicting the image he had spent years creating.
My wife. 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 My wife.
The backlash was immediate, with memes and criticism spreading quickly. He was removed from the group afterward and has since stepped away from major public attention. Ned Fulmer's entire brand was built on being the reliable one, and that was exactly what made the fall hit so hard. Moving forward to the viral vlogger whose wild content style eventually caught up with him. David Dobrik built an empire on chaotic vlogs and giveaways, and serious allegations eventually broke through the charm. His Vlog Squad content defined a major era of YouTube, built around stunts, pranks, and non-stop group energy. Allegations later surfaced involving sexual assault and misconduct connected to squad members, including claims involving minors. Major brand deals were pulled, and his content style changed significantly afterward. He still posts today, but with far more caution than the persona that originally built his audience. David Dobrik's wild era ended the moment the allegations behind the wildness came to light. Continuing with the creator whose own video started the biggest beauty scandal on the platform. Tati Westbrook sparked the James Charles cancellation, and the fallout eventually turned back on her as well. She built a respected name in the beauty community through honest product reviews and a trusted voice. Her 2019 video accusing James Charles of betrayal and inappropriate behavior sparked a massive online scandal. As the situation unfolded, criticism turned toward her as well, with audiences questioning her motives and timing. Her credibility suffered and her influence declined. Her presence in the beauty community has remained reduced since. Tati Westbrook lit the match on one of YouTube's biggest scandals, and some of that fire eventually came back toward her. Moving on to one of the most disturbing patterns of behavior the platform has dealt with. Onision built a fan base around edgy commentary, and the allegations behind that fan base were far darker than the content itself. He built a following through drama and commentary channels, attracting many young viewers over the years. Eventually, numerous allegations emerged involving grooming, manipulation, and abusive relationships, with multiple people sharing similar accounts. Documentaries and testimonies added attention to the accusations. Platforms responded with demonetization, while creators and audiences largely distanced themselves from his content. He remains one of the most criticized figures the platform has produced. Onision's fall was not one incident. It was a pattern that finally caught up with him after years of warning signs. Shifting to the edgy commentator whose own past content became the thing fans turned on him for. iDubbbz built a reputation on his unfiltered Content Cop series, and time was not kind to some of his own material. He built a following by combining humor with harsh criticism of other creators, earning loyalty through his unapologetic style. Over time, older content faced renewed scrutiny, while personal controversies added further criticism from former fans.
Kind of tastes gross. Kind of feels gross. Anywho, you guys want to open some more packages? Some on my face? You said there's something on my face. Where?
Subscriber decline followed, and his public image changed significantly. He continues creating today, but his presence is much smaller compared to his peak years. iDubbbz built a career on calling things out, and eventually that same standard got turned back on him. Next is the gaming creator whose aggressive reputation followed her into real conflict. Sniper Wolf built a massive following through reaction content, and accusations of doxing turned that following against her. She became one of the platform's most recognizable reaction and gaming streamers, known for her approachable persona. Accusations later emerged involving doxing other creators and aggressive behavior during disputes, some reportedly involving police. The backlash damaged the image that built her brand, while public conflicts continued to follow her. She remains active today, but the criticism has remained attached to her online presence. Sniper Wolf's relatable gamer image cracked the moment her conflicts with other creators became public. And finishing with the stunt that turned into a federal investigation, Trevor Jacob crashed his own plane for views, and the truth behind the footage ended his credibility completely. Known for aviation and stunt content, he staged what appeared to be a dramatic plane crash, parachuting out while the aircraft went down for a video. The footage gained massive attention before the truth came out. The FAA investigated and found the crash was intentionally staged for content, leading to criminal charges and a 6-month prison sentence. He served his time, but his credibility was permanently damaged. Trevor Jacob became an example of how far some creators will go for views. Every creator on this list built something real: an audience, a brand, and trust. It all collapsed when reality caught up with the image they created. For more deep dives into the biggest platform failures, like, subscribe, and comment below with the one that shocked you most.